The ANC in the Bukoni-Buphirima region has distanced themselves from presidential hopeful Cyril Ramaphosa's program in the province. This as Ramaphosa is all set to visit two venues in the province this weekend. ANC Bukoni-Buphirima says that they only got to know of the program through the media and are not taking part in it. The reason they claim is that they do not want to set a wrong precedence for presidential hopefuls of undermining ANC's constitutional structures. Now, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa is addressing SASCO members at the Potchefstroom campus of Northwest University. Let's cross live to that event.
Of the change that we want to see in education. So you know, the whole of South Africa, in fact, the whole of the African continent, is looking forward to this conference happening in December in Johannesburg. And it is in your interest as young people at the university level to have an interest in what is going to be discussed at that conference. And one of the most important recommendations that will be considered by the conference is for a new financial support model to ensure that academically capable poor students from the working class and the middle strata are supported to access higher education. Now this matter is going to be discussed at this conference, and it is in your interest to pay attention to what is going to be discussed, because what is going to be discussed will finally be adopted as a resolution, and once it is adopted, it will then be turned into the law of the land, because the ANC is still the largest political formation in our country that still leads the processes of government. This is fundamental because it is only through ensuring that the children of the poor can have equal access to higher education that we will be able to break the cycle of poverty. It is only when we can ensure that we effectively reduce unemployment and inequality when those children are in institutions of higher learning. We must be inspired by the demand that is enshrined in the Freedom Charter that higher education and technical training shall be open to all by means of state allowances and scholarships awarded on the basis of merit. The cry of our people that fees must fall to reverberate throughout the ANC conference hall, and you must make sure that that call reverberates. Who appeal to those delegates who will be at that conference and say, yes, this is our revolutionary demand as young people, as students. We want to be supported in our educational journey. That is the responsibility that you have. I agree, as your president said here, your president was quite eloquent, the president of SASCO, in saying that there should be free quality education for all. And I agree with that demand. But I also add, whilst I agree with your demand, I also add, but those who can pay should be allowed to pay. because there are many within our country who can pay, and we therefore need to give allowance for those who can pay, and they must pay. But overall, yes, I would agree that there should be free education and quality education for the young people in our country, and the government must support them on their educational journey. But more than that, more importantly than that, this cry of our people needs to find practical expression in the policies that we adopt. We must move away from rhetoric. We must move away from slogans. We must now begin to look at the action, the true implementation of this absolutely correct intention that we have. We must attend to the detail on how this is going to be implemented. If we are to accept the recommendation, as I believe that we should, that the cost of study for the poor and young people in our country should be fully funded, we will have to make a number of choices, particularly now that the economy of our country is not functioning as well as it should. In a challenging economic environment, we will need to reprioritize. We will need to reprioritize the allocations and resources. We urge you, therefore, as students and as young people, to be an integral part of making the type of choices that we are going to make. We urge you to bring your knowledge, to bring your skills and experience to bear in designing the sustainable methods of funding free and quality education for the young people of our country. Now, I say this, comrades, because like COSATU came forward to the African National Congress, and COSATU said to the ANC, you have in the Freedom Charter a clause that says that there shall be a minimum wage. South Africa shall have a national minimum wage. COSATU reminded the African National Congress of this clause that is in the Freedom Charter. And then COSATU said, we want to work with you to realize this goal. We want to work with you so that we can have a national minimum wage. And it took some time working together with COSATU and other unions and business and civil society. We worked on it for quite a while, but COSATU remained convinced that the African National Congress was committed to ensuring that we should have a national minimum wage. And this year, COSATU and the other union federations succeeded in their objective to getting South Africa to have a national minimum wage. And we applaud COSATU for having remained committed. We applaud COSATU for not having given up. And today we have a national minimum wage, and we say thank you to COSATU for having taken our country to where it is today. Now, similarly, comrades, similarly to all of you, I say, you have raised a very important point. You have reminded us of the clause that is in the Freedom Charter about the responsibility that the government has to support the education of the young people in institutions of learning. And we support that. And you have made your intention very clear that your objective is to have quality, free education. And we agree. What we now need to do, working together with you, going through all the issues that give rise to this, is to work with you to craft it so that in the end, yes, indeed, we do offer free quality education to the young people in our country. I invite you to work with us as government so that this ideal should be realized. Are you prepared to work with us? Are you prepared to go this route with us? I thank you for that, because that's precisely what we want to see happening. And every day we are aware of the problems that our students confront. We are alive to those problems. We know that the funding that you get from NSFAS is not sufficient to support you where you live, to give you enough money to eat, to give you travel money. We are aware of all that. We are also aware that some of you don't even get money to eat proper meals. Some of you eat Rice Krispies for breakfast. We know that. So now we are prepared to walk this journey with you to find solutions to all this. These are problems that have solutions, and we can solve them. Now, I was pleased when I heard Professor van Rensburg say, this university, you went through the whole year without losing a single day of learning. And I applaud you for that, and I thank you for that, and I say halala to all of you. Halala, University of Northwest, halala. Now, I also say to you, as we do all these things, we want students to work with us. The door is always open. And when there are problems, we actually say it is not necessary to burn down libraries. It is not necessary to go and burn down a lecture room. In fact, it is unacceptable to burn down a library because you want to sit down with the university management. And we say those problems can always be resolved. Let us make time to sit down with the university management and resolve all our problems by talking to them and negotiating with them. And at the same time, I will say to the university management that when they engage with you, when they engage with your student formations, when they engage with your leaders, they must be honest, they must be truthful, they must engage with you in a respectful manner and not just treat you like young people. They must treat you with the respect and the dignity that is required. As we improve access to higher education for the poor, we will need to take extraordinary measures, and some of those are measures that we would like you to embark upon with us. We need to adopt the recommendation that all students receiving grants and loans from the state should receive additional academic and psychosocial support to improve their chances of success. We must also confront the reality that there is today a huge gap between the world of learning and the world of work. Young people, including graduates, are not being absorbed into the productive economy because employers do not believe that they have the skills and the experience that their businesses need. The readiness of matriculants and graduates for the workplace is one of the most important tasks we must undertake as we address youth unemployment. Now, the government is continuing to embark on a number of initiatives to address the problem of unemployment amongst young people. We are about to conclude an agreement with the private sector that is going to see 1 million young people being brought into the world of work through learnerships, through internships, and through getting good work opportunities. We are finalizing that agreement. 1 million of you will be able to be absorbed in various companies. The private sector has agreed to that, and we are looking forward to the test pilot, the pilot being done next month, and thereafter next year we want to see as many of you, up to 1 million of you, being brought into the world of work. That is what your government has been working on. Now, this is going to give us a great opportunity, and it is going to massively increase opportunities for vocational training as well as apprenticeship amongst young people. I want to assure you that we continue to have the interests of young people at institutions of higher learning at heart. And that is why we want to open as many opportunities as possible, because you are indeed the future of our country. When we look at you, we see the future of our country reflected. And as we look at you, we can clearly see that the future of our country is bright. We can see that you are young people who are going to live up to the aspirations that our people have, and you are going to take this country forward in the most brilliant way. Now, as we move towards this future, we want you, as the students at higher learning, as you go into the world of work, to be active participants in the economy of our country. We want you, as students, not to only go into the world of work as work seekers. We want you to go into the world of the economy as people who are going to create jobs, as people who are going to own businesses, as people who are going to drive the economy of our country. And it is for this reason that we are now saying, as we are going to discuss also at the ANC conference, that we want to transform our economy. We want to so transform our economy that when you come in, you must find that our economy is transforming. Our economy is transforming in a way where you will not just be workers in the economy, where you will be owners, where you will be controllers, where you will be managers, where you will be top executives in the economy of our country. That is precisely what we want for you. As we transform this economy, we are aiming at building an economy in which you will play. We are aiming at building an economy which you will own and manage. We are aiming at ensuring that we unlock the energy of our economy in the most positive way. But at the same time, we want you to get into this economy as highly skilled people. We want you to be hungry to get skills. We want you to have a deep hunger for skills of excellence that are going to drive our economy forward. And we want to see a clear demonstration from your side that you are prepared to be the real warriors that are going to take our country forward. That you will be able to do by committing yourself to study, to acquiring skills, and to making sure indeed that you are worthy of the effort that we are putting in to growing this economy. One of the things that we are also doing, we want to restructure and streamline our state-owned enterprises. The state-owned enterprises that belong to the people of our country, so that when you come to work in our state-owned enterprises, you must find that they are state-owned enterprises that function effectively, efficiently, and they function to the benefit of the people of our country. We want, when you get in there, to find that the corporate governance of our state-owned enterprises is amongst the best in the world. We want, when you get there, you find that your colleagues in those state-owned enterprises are the best professionals.
That was Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, who's addressing the SASCOM members there at Potchefstroom campus in the northwest. Ramaphosa is actually urging the crowd there and the student that education is important. And one main important factor that the Deputy President mentioned there is that he agrees that there should be a free education for all. Ramaphosa is saying that he is working with the government and mainly the private sector to conclude an agreement with the private sector that the students should actually be involved in learnership programs and in training and skills. Mukhaitu, ANN7 will be taking a very short break. For now, stay tuned for more news and updates. And of course, do follow us on social media. Our Twitter account is at ANN7TV. And yes, on our Facebook page at ANN7TV. For now, stay tuned for more news and updates.